Chatman here, and today we're talking about the two major buckets that you need when it's time to buy a house in terms of money. Okay, so there's two major buckets there, all right? There's going to be your down payment and your closing costs, two distinct different things. And the reason I'm making this video is because I get a lot of people asking me how much they need to buy a home, and they don't understand the difference between down payment and closing costs. So let's go over that real quick. Your down payment is just that. It's the down payment money that you have to put up when it's time to buy your home. First things first, you don't have to put it up right away. Now, you want to have the money because you're going to need it at the closing table, okay? But that's what it is. So let's take an FHA home, for example. If I was buying a $200,000 FHA home, FHA is at 3.5%. That means my down payment is $7,000, okay? So any home you want to buy with FHA, guys, it is going to be 3.5%, okay? So just know that, all right? Now, with conventional, down payment can be 3%, it can be 5%, 10%, 15, 20%. You don't have to put 20% down. So just understand that you don't have to do that. You need to have an understanding of, with your lender, what products are out there, because there's very different loan products out there that you can choose that work for you. You know, and some come with higher interest rates, some come with lower interest rates, okay? 3, there's for the VA loan. Let's talk about VA. No money down. Okay, veterans don't have to put any money down when it comes to buying a home. All right, that is just your down payment. All right. Now, the second thing is your closing cost. Closing cost is very different than down payment. Closing costs are all type of fees that's associated with you closing on the property. For example, title fees. All right, transferring title from one owner to the other. That's a closing cost. The survey, that is a closing cost, okay? Getting your appraisal, that is a part of closing costs. Now, you're gonna pay some of these up front because you need to go ahead and get your appraisal done right away so the home can be valued, but that is associated with closing costs. You're also gonna have lending fees, you're gonna have some escrow fees. There's a whole list of things out there for closing costs. Typically, what we see is closing costs can go anywhere from 2.5% to 3.5%. So I just go around 3% of closing costs. Some lenders have more fees than others. You really need to understand when you're choosing your lender and what they're quoting you if you're paying for points, okay? It's a big thing. That can really dramatically change your closing costs. And so the way points work is, okay, I got it at a 3% interest rate, but I really want to get down to that 2.5%. So I pay extra money, okay, in addition to my down payment, in addition to my normal closing costs, to get down and buy down the interest rate so I can get a 2.5% interest rate. I am essentially buying points. That's what that is. A lot of people don't buy points right now. You don't have to buy points because interest rates are very low. But if there's a particular number you're trying to get to, you may end up buying points. So those are the two major buckets when it comes down to buying a home. When for money, is going to be your down payment and your closing costs. And you would need the majority of that money at the closing table. The only things that you're going to be paying up front typically is you'll be putting up your earnest money, which is like 1% of the sales price. If I'm buying a $200,000 house, I'm going to put up $2,000. That money will be credited towards my closing cost. Okay, so you're not just throwing it away, but you're putting that money up front. Number 2, you're going to be paying for a home inspection. You got to pay the inspector to get your home inspected. You pay them up front right then and there for their service. That typically goes somewhere around $500, you know, depending on the size of the home. If it's bigger, it got more complications like a pool or septic tanks, things like that, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But typically around $500 is what you see, okay? And then you're going to have to pay for, we talked about your appraisal. The appraisal needs to be paid for as well, right? That's typically another $500, depending on the size of the property. All right, so you're going to pay that up front. And you may, when you're buying a house, have to get further evaluations for repairs. Let's say the house has AC issues, and the inspector says, get an AC guy out there. You really should get an AC guy out there who can really tell you what's going on with the property. So those are other things that you may end up paying up front, okay? So you can pay your earnest money. You're going to pay for the appraisal. You're going to pay for an inspection. Oh, and I almost forgot, you're going to pay what's called the option money here in Texas. The option money is typically $300 to $500 for you to pay for a period of time which you can walk away from the property. Okay, So it's called the buyer's option period. So it's the buyer's unrestricted right to walk away from the property. All right. I hope this was informative for you. If you do have any questions when it's sometimes buying a house, you need to work with the agent. Me and my team would be more than happy to work with you and to help you out. If you have any questions, please let me know. Peace.